In my last video reviewing the Panasonic Lumix S1R Mark II, I said that I decided not to go into the L mount system and go with the S1R2 as my main camera. I teased another camera, this one, in that video, so I thought I'd do a quick reveal video of my new camera and was probably going to be my main camera system going forward, and then I'll make a much more detailed review once I've had some more time with that camera. Without further ado, the camera is the Fujifilm GFX 100 Mark II. So, the three reasons I chose this camera over a full-frame alternative for my main camera going forward are as follows. First is autofocus. While the S1R Mark II is an incredible camera, great colors, wonderful video features, and not too bad in photo, the autofocus just isn't there yet. It's not as good as Canon and Sony, and while I was shooting an event testing out the S1R Mark II, I just kind of felt like the autofocus of the Panasonic just wasn't quite there. And in fact, I remember shooting an event with this camera, the GFX 100 Mark II, because yes, this is not the first time I purchased this camera. It was about the same, about on par for photo. And since I'm primarily photo, if I'm going to take a hit on autofocus, I may as well get the better image quality, over the Panasonic and then also over the Canon and the Nikon. In video, I think the jury is still out. The Panasonic autofocus is certainly not as good as Canon and Sony, but I'm not sure the GFX stacks up on the video side of things. However, it will give me the chance to make a bunch of videos testing out different lenses to see which lenses work well for video autofocus with the Fujifilm. I can tell you right now off the bat, the 55mm 1.7, the 80mm 1.7 are terrible in video in terms of autofocus. So far, the 20 to 35 seems okay, but I'm still testing it. And the 110 also seems pretty bad. I think the zoom lenses that have linear motors are really the best. I have a couple of those coming, so more to come in future days on that point. Okay, second reason I chose the Fujifilm GFX 100 II as my main going forward camera is build quality. This thing is just built like a tank. It's a good size. It fits my fat-fingered hands, and you just feel like you're going to work when you're using this camera. It is bigger than a full-frame camera. The lenses are definitely bigger than full-frame lenses. But Fujifilm has done a really good job fleshing out the lens lineup. You've got a 500mm now. You might have seen that teased in one of my videos with just the lens hood here. I've got a 110 tilt shift coming. I've got some zoom lenses on the way and a couple of primes to flesh it out. On top of that, because of the larger sensor, you can adapt all kinds of lenses. I've got a Leica R-mount 35mm here on an adapter. I've got a Blazar Remus PL mount on an adapter. And I plan to do more Canon EF lenses and Leica M lenses on here, as well as medium format film camera lenses. I have both Hasselblad and Pentax 6.7 lenses, so lots of fun stuff, lots of fun adaptability on this super well-built body. I have no worries that the bigger lenses of those medium format cameras and things like that will fit on this camera and it'll balance well because it's a beefy, hefty, well-built monster. Another way of saying this is just, sometimes you hold a camera and it just feels like it fits your hand. That's kind of how I feel about this GFX camera. The 100S is almost as good. I like this a little bit better, in part because it's got the big old top screen, and more so because it's got 3 customizable function buttons here, just like the Panasonic, so you can do ISO white balance and face tracking, Then it's got 2 more up front, one more than the Panasonic, the right number, I think, so you can do things like false color and other metering options. I also love that the Fujifilm has highlight blinkies. It's got a color histogram as well as the regular black and white histogram. It's just got all the features. It's got the best distance scale. It's got the best manual focusing experience. I guess what I'm saying here is that on top of the build quality, for me at least, Fujifilm's user experience, the actual user interface, once you get past the kind of, crazy menus, it's just the best shooting experience for me, in my opinion. Maybe it's because I'm the most used to it. I kind of got into mirrorless because of the Fuji APS-C cameras, but I don't know. I just like it. I like the experience better than Canon, Nikon, Sony, and Panasonic, and maybe even better than the Leica M cameras, just in terms of software interface. Fuji knows how to put soul and fun into their cameras, even when it's in a kind of soulless Sony-like body like this. Now, if they made an X-T5 or an X Pro version of this, hoo-wee, forget about it. And you better believe I've got a GFX 100 RF coming in the mail, meaning that I've pre-ordered the camera. And I think that's also going to be a really great balance. I'll have that everyday carry, take it with you everywhere camera in the same form factor, medium format, file type, all that stuff, same colors. And then for work and all that kind of thing, I have this, the GFX 100 Mark II, and it just kind of covers all my bases in one camera system, which is something I really have been looking for. I want to simplify my life, sell a bunch of gear. And the final reason, and this is probably the biggest and most important reason as to why I'm going with this guy, is the files. Editing medium format files with their 16-bit color is just on another level. You can push and pull highlights and shadows, colors, you can just do so much more with the files. You get so much more of like a softer cinematic look right out of the camera. I just enjoy it. And I've tried all kinds of cameras. I've tried APS-C cameras, I've tried full frame cameras like the one I'm filming on, and I've got these medium format cameras. You can just do so much more with the files of the medium format cameras. And I am a control freak that loves to edit and post. So this is kind of the perfect, or this is the best case scenario situation product for me. I'll throw up a couple of samples here. I pushed and pulled on all these files. Here's one from a Fujifilm APS-C XM5. Then here's a little file from the Panasonic S1R Mark II. And then here are a couple of files from the Fujifilm GFX 100 Mark II that I really push and pulled because I can do so much more with them. I just feel like the GFX files look a little more, rounded and full and cinematic, to use that word again. And it's because I think I can push and pull them so much in post that I can get it to exactly where I want it, or as close as to where I want it as possible. I've already talked a lot about this camera and reviewed it in the past, so you can check out those videos to see the other things I liked and disliked about this camera. But on balance, it just feels like this is the right system for me. So I'll be making lots more videos about this. This is going to be a medium format channel going forward, it looks like. I'll do some full frame stuff, I'll do some APS-C stuff, but by and large, I'm going to focus on medium format stuff. Let's see if Leica comes out with a medium format system, just saying. So, if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.